welcome to Her-Tastic Journey podcast. I am honored to have Michelle on from Connecting Mamas. And Michelle DeKeyser is a speaker, coach, author, and founder of the Mama Genius Hub, which I actually am a member of. So thank you, Michelle. We have been together now maybe a couple of months, since like February, I think we met this year. And I appreciate you coming on to Her-Tastic Journey. I've also been on Michelle's podcast, Her Mama Genius Hubs, where she helps moms grow purpose-filled businesses in just 15 minutes a day, as why I joined her hub, so they can lead with joy and model what's possible for their children. Michelle is a mom of 3 and co-author with 2 of her kids. That's right. We did talk about that. Your kids are authors. That's right. And Michelle speaks on intuitive decision-making, motherhood, and aligned business growth. She invites moms to stop doing it all alone and start creating through connection. So again, that's Mama Genius Hub, Connecting Mamas. Michelle, welcome to Her-Tastic Journey. Appreciate you being on.
Thank you, Dr. Charlotte, for having me. And I just said right before I got on the podcast with you, and the first thing I saw was Charlotte's smiling face. I'm like, I need more of Dr. Charlotte's positive energy in my life.
That was very sweet. Thank you. And I said, I try to be pretty happy.
More of it.
Yeah, I'm a pretty happy person for the most part. I mean, everybody has their bad days, but for the most part, pretty happy. So Her-Tastic Journey started in November as just a fluke. Random women, I talked to strangers and I said, I think I'm going to start this podcast. And lo and behold, they said yes. I don't know why, but I'm grateful. And so now here I am, 7 months on the journey. And I like to kick it off with, what is your journey, Michelle, and what inspired you to start your business?
Well, my journey, I guess, like the way I like put with the business really started September 1st of 2020. In terms of, that was a day that I decided, it was during the midst of COVID. So we decided that we were going to homeschool our kids for the year. And I also decided I was going to do something called the 75 hard. I don't know who's heard of it, who hasn't heard of it.
Oh, yes.
But I just dove right into both. And ready to probably pull my hair out, like homeschooling 3 kids while I was trying to do 75 hard. In the midst of the first phase of it, my dad even passed away, but it kept me grounded.
Oh my goodness.
And moving forward. I even made it to the 3 phases. So like the whole thing, there's actually a live hard year with it as well. So, but phase 3 actually includes 5-minute cold showers, includes talking to a stranger, thinking about that kind of in the ending of COVID, but still inside COVID, trying to talk to a stranger every day. Interesting experience.
That's interesting.
Doing a random
cold showers and strangers. That's a different.
Yeah. And then a random act of kindness. And then you're also doing, you're doing the whole thing. You're doing the exercises, you're doing all these things with it, but those are the additional things added onto this particular phase, the last one, to really just sync out the year. Well, Charlotte, take you to day 25 of phase 3. So 5 days away from finishing the entire year. And again, the hard 35, for those of you that don't know, is if you don't do one task for a day, you're supposed to start all over.
All over again. I have heard that. Yes.
And with phase 3, that also means starting like everything all over again, because that's the end bit. And so it was day 25 of phase 3. I must have fallen asleep reading. I wake up at 2:30, self-portrait for the day. The reason they have you do it is because if you don't make it a consistency, you really don't see the physical progress of what you make. So I understand it, but I had forgot. And so it's 2:30 in the morning. I have this really weird picture of me in the bathroom taking this picture. I wake up my husband. He's like, just go take the picture. Who cares? And then I'm like all panicked. I'm all panicked. Like, what the heck? And then I took the picture, and then I was like in this gray area of like, did I finish? Did I not? I wasn't quite morning, like all these things. And like, I had some friends at the time who were just like, just I get to the end. But what I realized in that moment, though, I was so worried about the end, or not worried, but like just waiting for the end day, 5 days later, right? What's going to happen at the end? We get these goals, we get these things in mind. And I mean, some people have said like, I'm holding a trophy and the trophy feels empty, that kind of feeling at the end. But I realized on day 25, when that happened to me, I finally understood what the saying, "It's about the journey" meant.
Oh,
you hear it. And it's words, right? And they don't necessarily correlate to meaning in you. But I realized also, I was like, well, okay, if I didn't finish out this year, it's not a waste because literally I had lost 45 pounds. I
Oh,
had
wow.
started changing my habits. I had changed my diet completely. I had started reading again. I had gone down the mindset of, I'd said somewhere in my 30s that in my 40s, I want to start a business. And so this was like the starting point of, I'd taken the first like speak to write class or something but my first online class in this process of self-development and everything. And so it put me down this starting path. And then all of a sudden it was just like, well, did I finish? Did I finish? And I was like, in the end, it really didn't matter, right? For when I realized it really is about the journey. It's that reminder though.
You inspired yourself. Like you
Yeah.
literally were your own inspiration because that
And just
75 hard is no joke.
And
I've
it's the
talked,
first thing I will tell you, because I mean, I've tried the 21-day fit. I've tried all these little things. It's this first thing that I personally ever stuck to. Like, and I didn't actually start over on any of them. And like I said, that it was just that it was that day with the picture. However, it was just, that was the first thing I'd ever stuck with. And it was funny today, as we're recording, my daughter asked me today in the car as we're driving for somewhere, she's like, are you ever going to do the 75 hard again? That was like literally today. And I've been
well, maybe we
considering
could
like
do it
starting another.
together. We could like hold each other accountable. I've never done
Well,
it.
that was also leading me down the path of part of with the Mama Genius is actually doing a 45 Mama Genius reset
Oh,
in
I love
terms of
that.
mindset and stuff,
Yes.
and how do we keep it simple? And the thing with Mama Genius for me though, it is what came evolved from all of this process, right? This journey of my number one thing was always how do we connect moms together? How do we make them feel in their passion? At first, for me, it was matchmaking, creating these groups where moms would be all do all for them. You know what? I'll tell you. When you think about like someone who can't swim and you jump in the deep end and you can think about that, that was me swimming in the sea of belonging, like jumping straight into everything I thought I wanted. And then my body completely just resisted it. And it was like I got stuck in comparison, like in the Facebook chat, when you have 5 people in a Facebook chat and you start comparing who's saying what to people. That was me. I don't know if
Oh
anyone
my
else has
gosh,
been there.
Michelle. That's not a good place to be.
No, it was
No.
horrible. So eventually I had to remove myself from that group that I'd created with this business idea in mind. So it was friends, it was business idea, it was so messy. And but I learned from that, I was like, what did I actually need at that point? And what I realized is that we have been so disconnected from each other. Like literally, like we used to like go down to the river and wash clothes as we talked with each other, right? Now we have our own little houses, we have our own little boxes, our own little cars. Like your neighbor waves at you're like, why are they waving at me? And like our bodies have literally redesigned. And so even though we have this innate craving inside of us, our wiring doesn't quite match with that for everybody, at least for me. And I've seen that with
I
other
think
people
that's
as well.
I think that's a very valid point because intuitively, as humans, we are connectors. We are our DNA is to be with other people. We're not solo people. We're together. That's really what we want. And so, yes, the society that we're in now has started creating this other sort of DNA in us, which goes against our internal compasses. We want to be around people. We need to connect. Yeah,
And
that's
so there's
great.
there's this desire in us, but then there's this disconnect with how because we're just not we don't even know how anymore. So it's almost like a new tool we have to train ourselves in because like I said, for me it literally felt like I jumped into the deep end and I didn't even know how to swim.
So
And
that
so
takes
like
me to my second question for you is what are some of the biggest challenges you faced once you jumped in as a business owner? And how did you
I
overcome
mean
those
for me
challenges?
it's really that heart-centeredness and then that business aspect because it's that intuitive like us as women wanting to serve protect and do these things to make the world better but at the same time trying to make that financial gain as well so you can keep doing it because it really is paired together and so really identifying well and I have to say I cannot find the fine line between business and personal like I think as women as what we're trying to do and trying to make a difference in the world there isn't this finite line between the two, at least for me. And I feel like a lot of women are in the same place. And so that's where the hub kind of evolved from is this aspect of us having this place to gather by the water together and do business and come up with ideas together, because when we come to these conversations, the ideas that flow from them is so much greater. And I'll tell you this, in business or in all of this, you can pretty much Google, you can YouTube probably any idea. You can
Yes.
get an answer to your how. The problem that I'm seeing is, how do you implement that and actually align that with what you are willing to do? You have all the how-tos, and you can take the business class that, and I'll tell you, I took one of those business classes that got $10,000 and got all the checkoff lists. Did I do all those things? No.
Oh my gosh, mine cost $28,000. Yes.
You get these checkoff lists and your brain tells you, this is what I need next. This is what I need next. And so I wanted to create almost like the sampler platter to that, in terms of being able to bring in people to be able to try some of these things to see, does that actually align with me? Like, it sounds like a good idea. And that checkoff, like, and some of those pieces in the checkoff list are things that are good for you, but that's someone else's journey. You cannot copy.
Oh, that's such a great point. That is
someone
such a
else's
great
journey.
point. Yes, that's someone else's lens on how they did it. And everyone's so unique.
And some of
That's
those pieces
perfect.
will work for you. Exactly. And so for me, it was about weeding out the noise. So I'll tell you this, then it came down to, I thought I liked writing. I thought I was good at it, but I'll tell you, my 12-year-old daughter just wrote the most amazing essay for this camp she's going to. I like cried. I'm like, I wish I could write like that.
Oh,
And
I
so,
can
but for a
just-
year, I was trying to be a blogger and trying to write these. And then I hired a coach, because, you need the coach, right? And his system, if I could just take these transcripts from these interviews I was doing and I could match it with SEO, and, I would have the gold.
right. Yes.
Again, going down the rabbit hole of the things that we think we need to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you, October 23rd, 25th is my birthday. And I'd been started in January with him. And I was like, for me, if I get a deadline, it makes me work. So I gave myself a deadline of November 12th to officially launch the blog this style, right? To launch it the way this was supposed to be.
What's the name of your blog?
Well,
Oh,
let me finish,
okay.
because I don't have one. I do not have one right now. I had one that got, anyways.
Okay.
So on my birthday, I'm like, I just need one more call with him. And he was in Australia. So it's 5:30 in the morning on my birthday, since he's in Australia. And it was one of those conversations where you're having that conversation thinking you're going to get answers. And then all of a sudden the knowing comes over you, like, none of this information is going to help you whatsoever. And then he has no idea that tears are starting to buckle behind my eyes. And I get off the phone with him. And it wasn't anything that he said or did. It was just all of a sudden I knew deep inside of me that I wasn't going to be able to do it this way, this how. And I just sat there literally, and then it's so quiet in the house, because actually at this point it's like 6 a.m. Everyone's asleep, and the tears are just rolling down my face. And I'm just like, what am I going to do now? I put this deadline on. And then I'm like, well, I haven't really told that many people. And you start backpedaling your head.
Right.
But the thing was, I knew that no matter what, if I canceled it, it didn't matter who I told, I would be canceling myself again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so this is 2.5 weeks away, right?
This is the first time I've heard you say that you canceled yourself again.
Well, no, I was in this space thinking I would be if I canceled this launch.
Okay.
This was my thought process going through my head right now. So I hadn't canceled myself yet, because in this moment, I realized what I didn't tell you all is that I had done 10 interviews with women. And so I had these interviews. I was trying to take the transcripts of these interviews, run them through ChatGPT to create these blogs with the right SEO and all this stuff, right? It was, again, we convolute everything, right? And so this voice inside me goes, why are you not doing a podcast?
Ah, yes. Kind of like, bing, I'm going to ask strange women. I'm going to approach 6 strangers and say, will you be on my podcast? I don't even know what it's called yet. Will you? Why not?
Exactly. And so, but what it felt for me was all of a sudden, like, I was going to post these interviews on the blog. It wasn't like, but all of a sudden, like, my voice felt like I had been hiding it. Like, by actually saying podcast, it's like, oh, you can't do that. You're not a speaker.
100%. Yes.
And so, but then all of a sudden I was like, okay. So literally I had from October 25th to November 12th to figure out how to launch a podcast. And so I figured out what an RSS feed was. I figured out all the components. I turned these 10 interviews into 10 podcasts in that process. And I'll tell you what, I don't think I mentioned this part, but he kept saying 3 months, 50 blogs to get where you want to go, right? To help with the SEO and everything. 4 months later, I had 50 podcasts posted.
Wow. So you were doing like one a week?
At the time I was doing this, when I first started, I was doing about 3 a week.
Oh, wow. And I'm all like one a month and I'm all happy.
But again, it was
you inspire me, Michelle.
but it's really about honing in on what you can actually be consistent with. And the hard part is actually discovering what that is. So for me, the hub is about like I've actually been this morning, and as I came on, I told you like this idea is I want to have this roadmap for moms to be able to explore. Like, is a podcast a thing for me? Is a blog the thing for me? Like, what is it for me that I can get? Because we all have something inside of us, some heart-centered message, some calling on our hearts to get out into the world. But it's going to go out in different ways because of our personalities, because of the way that we operate. And because something worked for one person, there are great bloggers out there making tons of money. Just wasn't my thing.
Right.
And it's in that process of exploring, but like $20,000 online, you're like going down the line of figuring out, oh, that wasn't my thing. I wanted to create that more entry level point of being able to see the buffet and test out some of those components to see what is my thing. And then let me figure that out. Then I can like really expand it.
And it's okay if you don't have a thing either too, I think, like maybe I like a lot of things, but I don't really want to pursue one specifically. I like a little bit of everything, or I like just watching. I'm more of a person who wants to consume than give out, and I think that's also something that, I think our personality is the same. We're kind of like go-getters. We want to do stuff. We want to, I have all these ideas. I really want to try this. I want to try that. I want to give back to the world. I know that I have this burning desire inside of me also that wants to come out. And why am I not doing that? But a lot of people don't have that, and that's okay. And I think that is something that Mama Genius, the hub, also I thought, and that's one of the reasons I joined. I felt like it was just safe. If I want to listen, I can. If I want to contribute, I can. So I like that. And I like what you said, like now to start providing more things instead of just, the kind of what we've done. And not together, but on different, like, well, I'm going to go join this business development for a whole year and pay X amount of money. Or maybe I'm going to write a book and I'm going to pay X amount of money. So it's kind of like we're reaching and reaching and reaching and looking and searching, but it's always inside of us. It's literally inside of us. We could just,
but it's like weeding out the noise to hear what is actually in here, because you get all the shoulds and you see that worked for someone else. You're thinking, well, if that worked for someone else, it should work for me. And yes and no, because it depends on if that was the way that your genius does, right? Or bees, like let's do more being than doing. But so it's more about exploring and listening and taking off the layers that have been, like for me, the layers made me scared to talk my voice. I'll tell you a story. When I was in elementary school, if I gave a class presentation, I was in a very Hispanic area. And so there was only a few white ones of us, but my face would turn red every time I had to get up to speak. So in the back of the room, the boys would make cherry bomb noises, and that would make me even more like just tighten up. And so that those layers kind of cringed my voice. So again, that's probably where the blog came out more of like, I can hide behind this layer because that feels safer to me, even though that wasn't the genius inside of me. Like I had to remove that layer first through figuring that out and communicating and working. That's why I believe so much in the women's circle, why that's part of the Mama Genius Hub, because when we come together to actually see and witness and listen to each other, we also get to listen from our own hearts and see, oh my gosh, did that just come out of me? That's my truth. That's what I'm reaching for. Yes. I'm listening for my own voice. And when we're in the noise of business or relationships or moms or whatever it is that you're looking to seek, the noise gets louder of the shoulds.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we need all the information. We do need that checkoff list from whoever, and that's where chat comes into place. ChatGPT comes into place, or whatever AI you're using. You can get the checkoff list,
Oh, for
but
sure.
then the idea is what piece of the checkoff list actually worked for me, my genius, and what I want to do, whatever that is, regardless if it's helping your kid, regardless if it's starting a business, whatever that desire is in front of you. It is weeding out that noise to see what pieces are going to work for you.
Oh, that's great. So that leads me to the last two questions here. What's next for Mama Genius?
And I think that's what we came on talking about, because today the ideas were
Yeah, you're
percolating.
like,
And what I see in my head is literally like a roadmap,
yes.
right? And on that roadmap are different avenues for people to take. Because like I said, like if I got a chance to explore what the blog was like with a mini course or something, and say, oh, that doesn't really, that doesn't jive with me. Let me play with this one, right? And just kind of have a chance to play a little bit more in mom time. Because for me, I realize in moms, we don't have a lot. We do have a lot on our plate. And again, it is about expanding and determining your priorities. But everything inside the Mama Genius Hub is also 15 minutes or less. So like implementation is like, I mean, watching a video is 1 to 5 minutes with implementation. So you're doing something in 15 minutes, actually processing things inside. That's why they're mini courses. And they're designed to be able to explore and play. So then if you do find that speaker that speaks to you, then the next step would be like, now that I feel like this is my calling, now, yes, now that it's worth investing in that person, in that message, in that blueprint, right? But a lot of times it's just easy to listen to the noise of entrepreneurship and there's a rabbit. Here's
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Oh, I need
That
that
was
one.
fun.
Oh, that is,
Yeah.
I mean, we're
And look how
designed to like,
successful they are. Why can't I, then you get that comparatitis and what am I not getting and all that stuff. That's
but messaging and marketing is designed to play on that need and want, and that's great because we need to do that as well because it is serving, it is, but it is weeding out when is it right for me to actually go by that one. And that's what I want to try to create, that entry level to help play a little bit and then to be like, that's what I need more of.
so
Like,
right there, then what would be your call to action? Let's wrap this up. What's your call to action today?
my call to action is come join us. We have 3 free events a month, which is mamageniushub.com/co-create. And inside we have 2 networking meetings a month. And I don't even like we use the word networking. It's co-creating circles where we come together to work on our vision and see what that vision is. And then in the, how can we help each other achieve those visions? So it's more than just networking. We're really about trying to create that picture. And then we also do offer now a free women's circle experience to see what that's like. Cause I don't even know how to describe it. It's really about coming together in circle and really being able to witness each other's voices, but then also because you're witnessing them, you're not worried about responding, or you're just truly learning how to listen to someone. And then you get to then say, when it's your turn, you can choose silence, or you can choose to, your heart just comes out and you're like, where did that just come from? And you actually get to listen to your own voice, and you can see women just like acknowledging and just eyes light up and just that recognition, because we don't respond to each other. It's about hearing each of our own voices and truly learning to listen, because then it really shows you how to listen to your kids. I want to give this piece of advice to everyone out there.
Yes, please.
I don't even know advice, but it's when your kids come to talk to you about whatever's on their heart, or you go ask them, as soon as they're done talking, do me a favor and just do this. Just close your mouth. Do not respond to them. Don't say anything. If you do need to respond, just repeat, or just did I understand you correctly? Repeat their exact words or understand their meaning. Do not respond. Do not be mama bear and say, do I need to go fix this? Do I need to do that? Not yet. Okay. Let the silence sit, because half the time they're not done.
Mm.
And then, and especially when they're angry. Like I'll sometimes when my daughter's throwing her fit on the bed, I'll sit there and sometimes so long that I will leave for a while and come back. So don't get me wrong.
You are in the thick of it. You are in the thick of it.
But it's in that silence that they start to speak more. And then honestly, the next part of it is usually them solving or knowing what they want to do next, and listening and understanding and learning to value their own voice, because that is what we're trying to train, because we're not always there. So if they can start to, under your guidance, listen to their own voice, that becomes stronger than the noise of their friends and the prayer pressure and the times you're not there because you aren't going to be there everywhere. We are here to help them understand and see their own values and help shape those for themselves. And so half the time, I'll tell you at the end, I have not said a word. My daughter's like, okay, I'm done with you, Mom. Bye. Get out.
That's great. That's a great way to end this. Being a mom, that is, and actually I'm thinking maybe with even a husband, just not say a word. Just let it ride. Just don't say
A
anything.
lot of times, and you know why? Because people are so uncomfortable with silence. But when you get comfortable with the silence, it allows for more.
Yes. Yes. And we're going to, right there, perfect ending. Thank you, Michelle. Again,
Thank you.
Connecting Mamas, the Mama Genius Hub. I'll have all this information available. I really
Come join
appreciate
us.
you
Come
being
check it out.
on. Thank you again. I'm honored that you're on.